everybody, this is the Victor and today we're going to talk about Kung Fu Panda 2. When Kung Fu Panda came out, people were mesmerized by how good it was. People said, oh, this is so funny, this is so cool, this is so great. I thought it was a more than passable but not quite spectacular animated movie, and I thought that despite, its almost endless supply of good materials and A-list voice acting, it didn't quite lift off the ground. I do think that the sequel to Kung Fu Panda is a much better movie. Let's find out why. This is Kung Fu Panda 2. So the Furious 5 are kicking ass again and doing Kung Fu stuff and are doing hero stuff. But there is a new threat that is, threatening the peace of the land and stuff like that, because Shen, played by Gary Oldman, a peacock with a very big axe to grind, is gunning for them. The thing is that he has invented gunpowder, which is the thing that can stop Kung Fu. He has also kind of performed a panda genocide, but that detail is kind of glossed over. Why the panda genocide, you ask? Well, it was prophesied that he was going to be defeated by a warrior of black and white, which, prompt him to basically murder every pandas that he can find. This is basically the same motivation as the Lord Marshal has in the Chronicles of Riddick, which basically makes this movie the same as the Chronicles of Riddick. The more you know. So they have to go and stop them, and that is basically the movie in a nutshell. I will say that this movie is much better because they have a better story, they have a more effective villain, and having Gary Oldman as the villain, which once again doesn't get enough screen time, but despite his screen time being a bit limited, he still puts on a good performance, and when he shows up, he's all business and he's all threatening. And the fact is that that little bird is more threatening than all the other villains they've had in the Kung Fu Panda movies is saying something. The movie has a lot of creativity to it, it has a lot of great visuals to it, it has a couple of really fun jokes, and it has a couple of really good, parody things of Kung Fu movies. My favorite is people are standing, far, far away and yelling at each other. That was really fun. There are jokes in this movie that land really well, and there are those that does not, who were completely dead on arrival and somehow has gotten even more dead as, time goes by, because, in this movie, Poe discovers that he is a panda and not a geese. I thought that joke was bad in the first movie, and somehow it hasn't gone away. That joke was just so lame, and I thought it was so unworking that I was glad that it finally was addressed and that we could finally move on from it. But Kung Fu Panda is a colorful, entertaining, fast-paced animated movie that has some fun jokes and some fun gags. Kung Fu Panda 2 is unfortunately also saddled with the trope of hero is abandoned by friends for some minuscule reasons, and then they're reunited 10 minutes later and then they defeat the bad guy, and which happens in all animated movies, it feels like, except for, the even worse version of this where, the liar reveal thing, happens. The classical thing that happens in A Bug's Life when, oh, you lied to us and this idea was kind of cool, but now we're gonna abandon you for no reason. I hate that even more, because this always results in, 10 minutes of moping and doping, and then they come back and we're supposed to, forget that anything of this even happens. It is completely waste of time, and I hate it every time it happens. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Anyway, if you're out for a good animated movie, you could do a lot worse than this. When it comes to the other two movies in the Kung Fu Panda series, I think this one is the best by far, and I think it has some creativity to it, and I think it is a rather fun movie. The voice acting is great, the animation is pretty stupendous. This is a good movie, and it easily gets 62 points. It has a simple enough story with enough characters and enough tweaks to make it interesting. So, well done, I guess. So this is basically an above average animated movie in my opinion. So I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.